know, say behind every successful man's a good woman.
And that is the case with me, without a doubt. So
I'm going to wind up now with the reed making.
Right, okay.
Now, we can talk about it, or we can have a demonstration. Is that possible?
Well, my workshop upstairs is very small, and I can show you some steps to it and that kind of a thing.
Just 2 minute thing.
Yeah. So and it's when we went back with Colin.
Just do one handheld camera and just say put it in.
When I was with Colin McClellan in the 7 months I was with him and that kind of a thing, and then with Jimmy McIntosh, I had a day and maybe a morning, and so I saw the way that he did it basically. Whatever method that I use is probably antiquated to what other people use, and with reed makers we're always very leery of doing whatever, but I can go up there and I can show you as far as things and stuff.
Okay, that's it.
That's what it looks like. And here's a piece of cane that's just been prepped. It's cut 3 inches in length, and then you've got an in-canneled gouge. So you go and you prep it. You go that way with it, and then you go and you want to create a radius within that cane, so that you have the start of the cane within the radius that creates inside of the blade.
Okay, so it's the internal arc of the blade.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, and then from there we have a cutter that cuts it into that kind of piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we put it into a block, and we take our chisel and we basically put it down to where, taking the cane down from where it is, and takes it down from there to there, just so it becomes more manageable as far as the blades goes. So those are then matched up and bound together, and then you wet them, and then you put a copper staple in between them, and then you wind it up on the winder, and I'll show you that. You've got the staple there, and now you're going to tie them together. Watch that you don't go above the staple line. Down like that. Put a hitch knot on it. Cut it off. And right now the blades are too long. We make them too long so that we can tune them in.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that. So we put some hemp on it, and then we try it in a chanter and tune it as such. So I'll do that. Go to there, here. All we're going to do now is just cut it down even and start tuning the chanter in. So, there. Grab the chanter. So, that's the start of it, and you further tune it in by just manipulating the cane to see, just to kind of free up that top hand a wee bit. And I'll show you as far as just needs to vibrate a wee bit more up on the top of the reed. So we're taking dust off right now. Just dust off.
Do you ever use sandpaper or glass paper, or do you just use a knife all the time?
Not on the outside of the reed. A knife is what I like to use. So.
what about if you use sandpaper, would the pores get clogged up?
Well, it tends to. I've seen it on a high spectrum camera, to where the cane, and it's basically in hills and valleys, whereas more along the lines with an artist knife or an X-Acto blade or a pen knife, you've got a lot more control, and you can pick your area which you want to take off on in order to affect the reed and that kind of thing.
And that's critical.
Absolutely. Well, I work a whole lot better with the pen knife than I do with the sandpaper. With the sandpaper, it can be quite aggressive, and
it covers the whole area rather than just partial.
Exactly, and you can use, you can have more used sandpaper, which is not as aggressive, but you really don't get that feeling of how much that you take off. So I've been doing this 30 years now, so you really get the feeling of the pen knife.
Okay.
So,
are there areas that people shouldn't touch after they get the reed home and all the rest of it, and they're trying to manipulate it for themselves? Well, where should they not touch with a knife?
Right. Well. The difficult bit is that, just as far as what to do, you basically just want to avoid this area right up here. Okay. That's the part that vibrates the most.
Okay.
The center of the reed, you want to take off less aggressively. Okay, that really affects the life when you start doing with the spine of the reed, which is right along the center of it. That really takes the life out of the reed when you start taking things off of there. Generally, when you want to make a reed easier, you take off on the shoulders, what I call the shoulders.
So you're rounding off the shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like you've got the fibers of the cane that are really like this, and when you take off here and here, it eases that up, and it makes the top of the reed vibrate more. So if you're going to take off, then go ahead and do that. Just realize that a pipe chainer reed is not a drone reed, and it's not a pop and play kind of a thing. If you get it to where you do put it in and it's going great guns, then that's great. But how
long typically would you recommend that people persevere with blowing in the reed?
I would say give it a couple of days. It'll settle down after a couple of days, even longer, maybe 7 to 10 days. It should really find its equilibrium with as far as moisture goes and as far as vibrating goes and stuff like this. Putting one in right before a contest is not something that I would really recommend, but
What about wetting the reed before playing?
Well, the cane needs moisture, okay? And so know that the cane needs moisture, but too much moisture will make it vibrate too easily. So when I want to put moisture on a reed, this is what I recommend, and I'll use my glasses as an example. If you take a look, I'm putting moisture on my glasses there, so that's the amount of moisture that's really needed on the cane, and it's just a couple of deep breaths. That's giving it the moisture. Stuff like this, the cane is a wee bit more flexible now. As far as soaking it any more than that, I wouldn't want to do that. Unless it was a really, really hard reed and you want to make it easier.
And of course, a lot of your modern control within bags for moisture is quite aggressive at suiting the moisture out of a reed.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. And it's finding what suits you best.
So that's why a lot of them got to use chanter caps and take the chanter out and not playing it because of the aggressive moisture control systems.
Exactly. Without a doubt.
If it's too dry, it'll just not function.
Bingo. The chainer reed needs moisture. Too much is not good. Not having any is not good. It just needs a wee bit of moisture and that kind of a thing. So if you need to put moisture to a reed, that's the best way to do it, and just like that.
Okay.
So.
Right. We're not going to show any more reading making secrets here today because we've still got a business to run. Thanks very much, Donald from Pipers'Persuasion, for your many hours today. I thought an hour will cover us. It's been on and on. It's a marathon session.
Well, I probably over-answered questions.
Terrific.
Sorry about that. So I probably over-answered it.
No. It's first class. Thanks for your time, Donald.
Pleasure. Right.
All the best.
What